Your appointment to FEMA should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with the Senator.
I take it he was agreeable?
He didn't really have a choice.
Has he been infected?
Oh yes, most certainly. When I mentioned that we could put him on the priority list for the ambrosia vaccine, he was so willing it was almost pathetic.
This plague, the rioting is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over to the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
I've received reports of armed attacks on shipments. There's not enough vaccine to go around, and the underclasses are starting to get desperate.
Of course they're desperate. They can smell their death, and the sound they'll make rattling their cage will serve as a warning to the rest.
I hope you're not underestimating the problem. The others may not go as quietly as you think. Intelligence indicates they're behind the problems in Paris.
A bunch of pretentious old men playing at running the world. But the world left them behind long ago. We are the future.
We have other problems.
UNATCO?
Formed by executive order after the terrorist strike on the statue. I have someone in place, though. I'm more concerned about Savage. He's relocated to Vandenberg.
Our biochem corpus is far in advance of theirs, as is our electronic sentience, and their ethical inflexibility has allowed us to make progress in areas they refuse to consider.
The augmentation project?
Among other things, but I must admit that I have been somewhat disappointed in the performance of the primary unit.
The secondary unit should be online soon. It's currently undergoing preparation and will be operational within 6 months. My people will continue to report on its progress. If necessary, the primary will be terminated.
We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon there will be order again. A new age. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon that city will be a reality, and we will be crowned its kings. Not better than kings. Gods.
Oh, I thought you were in Hong Kong. Welcome to the Coalition, JC. I might as well start using your code name. Think I'd miss my brother's first day? Didn't think you'd have a choice. What's going on? The NSF. They hit one of our shipments. A few of them got away, but we trapped the rest in the statue. What are we waiting for? Looks like a textbook assault. The NSF took one of our agents hostage. The bots are holding the perimeter, but my orders are to hold back and send you in alone. I think someone high up wants to see how you handle the situation. All I've got with me is a pistol and an electric prod. I don't mind a test, but UNATCO better issue some hardware. Remember that we're police. Stick with the prod. It'll stun your opponents or knock them unconscious. A non-lethal takedown is always the most silent way to eliminate resistance. Just in case, though, Manderley wants you to pick an additional weapon. A sniper rifle, a GEP gun, or a mini crossbow. The crossbow. Sometimes you've got to make a silent takedown. Good thinking. With these tranquilizer darts, you'll have another non-lethal way to take down an enemy in addition to the prod. I get the idea. What's the first move? I'm going to give you a map of the island. If you can get to the North Dock, a UNATCO informant will give you a key to the statue doors. He responds to the code phrase, iron and copper. You could avoid a lot of fighting, though, if you found a back way to the statue. I'll see how it looks on shore. Your primary objective is the makeshift command center the terrorists have installed at the top of the statue. But don't forget about Agent Herman. We think he's being held on the ground floor. What are my orders when I reach the command center? Interrogate the leader. We don't yet know why the terrorists would risk an open assault.
About time you showed up.
Iron and copper. The statue is copper on an iron frame, right?
Password's enough, pal. Don't think you know something about the Lady Eido. My dad did tours out here.
I heard that you can get me inside.
Depends. You get your man out, take back the statue, whatever. But I know the commander and I don't want to see him get hurt. Here's a picture so you don't make a mistake.
You can trust me.
I'll take your word. Here's the key to the front entrance. Commander's not much of a soldier. He'll surrender as soon as he sees you. I need him alive because he's my main contact at the NSF. If he's dead, I don't have much of a business.
Thanks. You with Philbin?
I get a cut for bringing him over.
Tell me what you know about the NSF operation.
I'm not that high level. The more elite troops, they're the ones that took over the ship and unloaded it into speedboats. I think we're supposed to be a diversion.
A ship?
That's all I know. The commander gave me a 10mm clip, a box of 30-06 ammo, and some crossbow darts, and said, keep your head down. Huh, like I'm gonna take on UNATCO troops. Want 'em? You can have the clip for 175, the 30-06 for 300, and the darts for 50. But if I was you, I'd avoid a head-on attack altogether and not even use the key Philbin got. I'd go in the statue from the back. Less security that way.
I'll take the 10mm clip for 175.
Put a slug in the...
Glad you're not hurt, Agent.
Command should not have left us to be surrounded.
Risk is part of the job. I think you lucked out this time.
Agent Navarra and I were ready to go in, but for no reason they said pull back. I do not retreat. Please give me a weapon and move out of the way.
As you wish. Take my pistol.
That will be adequate. I will secure this level. You proceed up the stairs to the command center at the top.
You went a little soft on the NSF. The guys had to mop up.
I used necessary force.
Well, necessary force won't work when we chase these sons of bitches into the city. You better load up on some hardware. Scored an extra scope on a couple of thugs we dropped down by the dock. You can have it for 700 credits. Also picked up some 10mm ammo and some...
Shouldn't you turn that stuff over to the quartermaster?
Carter? You don't care. NSF goods are the spoils of war. Hey, we're risking our lives out here.
I don't have the 700 for the scope.
Check back after you get your op bonus.
The island secured. How did things look in the statue? The leader surrendered. So they were after Ambrosia. A month's supply for the East Coast. We think they've taken it back to the city. I didn't know UNATCO handled the Ambrosia distribution. Manderley will brief us shortly. UNATCO makes sure the limited supply of vaccine gets to government agencies and key industries. It's good to finally see some action. Just keep a level head. You're doing well so far. Now get inside. I'll meet you in Manderley's office, level 2.
My new partner, JC Denton. Don't tell me you're going to wear those sunglasses during a night operation.
My vision is augmented.
At least it is a way that we know when it's not Paul.
Forgive my interruption. I just wanted to say that I look forward to working with you, Agent Navarra. Also, excuse me, I've got to be briefed by Mr. Manderley.
I do not expect you to perform as well as Agent Herman, but the mission will require us to do more than frighten the NSF with our baggy coats that make us look bigger than we really are.
I am prepared to perform my duties.
He will not be the equivalent of his brother. I have seen that he knows the procedure of a good offensive.
Let us hope you are right.
I won't let you down, Agent.
Good work out there, Mr. Denton. Mr. Manderley said you handled yourself nicely. Welcome to UNATCO HQ. Our little family keeps getting bigger.
Is Mr. Manderley available?
Yes, go right in. By the way, your computer account...
Alex already told me. Thanks.
Like leading a mouse to cheese.
This thing is starting to give me a headache.
Don't worry, we shut it down when you go off duty.
I guess I'll get used to it.
I'm Alex Jacobson, communications engineer.
I suppose you already know who I am.
Getting there. You're certainly quicker on the uptake than your brother Paul ever was.
Thanks.
Hey, JC.
You look like the real thing. They actually let you operate on people?
Just fixed Gunther's knee, in fact. A sticky actuator. So far, I feel more like a mechanic than a doctor.
I'm impressed.
They actually let you point a gun at people.
We'll have to catch up later. I've got to leave for New York right away. Could you send Manderley whatever it is he wants?
No problem. Listen, JC. About your augmentations. You know they're preparing to roll out the technology worldwide, right?
As long as I don't turn green and grow a pair of antennas, as I understand it.
Yeah, well, the design's pretty modular, which means you'll soon have access to upgrades from standard augmentation canisters.
Great. Have anything for me?
Not yet. But remember, if you find one of these canisters, that you need a medbot for installation.
I'll do that.
The canisters contain a colloid of ROM modules. Some are generic upgrades, others require you to make permanent choices about how to configure one of your subsystems.
It's about time they implemented some of this stuff.
At ease, Agent Denton.
General Carter, I read about the Merced operation in school. This is a great honor.
I'm not a general anymore. Just call me Carter.
I can't believe what the NSF did to your family.
Enough of that, soldier. We each have our troubles. I lost my children, but you've had to grow up without your parents, which requires more courage. I don't think it matters.
My parents died in a car accident. That's different.
I said that's enough. You have your own op and time is short. How about I issue you a stealth pistol?
That sounds fine. Thank you, sir.
What else do you think you'll need?
A smart lockpick is always handy.
That's right. Infiltrate and evade. Engage only on your own terms. Now move out. Manderley's waiting.
Hey, what about that guy out front selling munitions? Is that allowed?
Oh, Kaplan, right. We've got some screwballs around here, but he's not the problem. It's whoever's been breaking into the armory.
Someone at UNATCO's a thief?
Yes, sir. And a damn good one.
What's that? Power station. The NSF have Ambrosia in a warehouse protected by cameras and booby traps. We want to power down the whole system.
We're taking one illicit generating plant, protected by weak groups of NSF. Knock out that plant, and Paul's team can walk right into the warehouse.
Just tell me where it is. The NSF are openly resisting our deployed forces, gradually falling back. You'll have to deal with them first.
And you be ready, Paul. When the power drops, go in and go in hard.
I'll use my discretion.
Go in like the U.S. Marshals. We lose the vaccine, I'm sending your butt to the mayor to explain why he and his 3 daughters won't get their pills this month.
Yes, sir. Let's not waste any time, JC. Get down to the dock. A boat is waiting to take you and your partner, Anna Navarro, to shore.
Yes, get moving. Here's your op bonus for the great job you did in the statue, plus 250 for rescuing Agent Herman. That's 1,250. We take care of our people around here.
Thank you, sir.
By the way, Denton, stay out of the ladies' restroom. That kind of activity embarrasses the agency more than it does you.
All right, let's go. The terrorists are in a fighting retreat. A few have barricaded themselves inside Castle Clinton.
Lead the way.
Our orders are to locate a barrel of ambrosia they are hiding inside. I will give you a schematic of the barrel, but first we will exterminate the NSF terrorists.
Exterminate?
A precious opportunity we cannot neglect.
What about the rest of the shipment?
That is your brother's assignment. You will take the subway to meet him in Hell's Kitchen. But first, we should deal with Castle Clinton.
Are we going in the front, or is there another way?
A secondary entrance would be useful, but I am aware of no such thing.
I'm starving. Do you have anything to eat?
All I have is a candy bar.
Don't matter. I just need something in my stomach so I can fall asleep.
Here you go. Do you have a place to stay?
I sleep out on the dock where they unload the speedboats.
Speedboats? Is that how the NSF get their supplies?
I don't know. They're always coming in and out of the tunnel behind the soda machine.
Interesting.
I spy on them from the crates. The code is 9183.
Clever boy.
Thanks for the snack, mister.
It's the least I could do.
You were too gentle with the NSF, but I cannot complain. You completed the objective. At least you are not a coward like Paul.
I'm learning as I go.
You just passed Lesson 1. Lesson 2 is how we deal with the terrorists in the subway station.
I'm ready.
The terrorists have wired the platform with explosives and put in hostages. Get the hostages out if you can, but make sure the NSF learn that human shields will not work against UNATCO.
Nothing we can't handle with a few EMP grenades.
We are thinking the same thought. I will equip you with 2 grenades. They will disable any electronic detonators within a radius of 20 meters.
Situation here. You're taking over. I've got to get my team ready to raid the warehouse. What about the EMP field? Still in place. Your primary objective will be to locate and disable its power source, probably an industrial-sized generator in a large building. I'll question some of the locals. I ordered the civilians to take cover a block south of here in the Free Clinic and at the Underworld Tavern, down on the corner. Maybe I'll start with the tavern. Why'd you have to clear the street? There's still a heavy NSF presence in the streets, and we're taking some fire. We could use your help if you get the chance. Maybe I'll do that. If you need any extra equipment, here's the key to my place at the Tun Hotel. Check the secret closet. Remember? The keypad's behind the painting. Just like the movies. 2nd floor, right? Yeah, and take a charger for the riot prod. We don't need another Anna Navarro shooting spree. Whatever you say. And JC, we'll be waiting for you to take down that EMP field.
Yes?
Just curious. I thought I heard you say Ambrosia.
My wife has the plague.
He already lost his daughter.
Sorry to hear that.
So do I trust some street punk called Jojo to get me pharmaceuticals? Trust him with my wife's life?
I thought Ambrosia was an urban legend.
Jojo probably just wants to sound like a player. I shouldn't get my hopes up.
I don't know what to say. You just have to do what you think is right.
What can I get you?
You work here, you must know the area. Heard of anyone hiding a large generator?
Not exactly, but if it's anywhere, it's probably in the warehouse district.
Where's that?
A few blocks south. Not a bad walk, but the riot police have blocked the roads because of the NSF.
I'd like to check it out.
Well, you may be out of luck. Even though one of the old warehouses faces onto the park, I don't know how you get inside.
Sounds like a good place to start.
Something to drink. Everything in the bar, snacks too, just 10 credits.
That's some heavy augmentation.
Yeah. Ask your netco. What's it to you?
I'm in the business.
Well, I was in an early program, okay? I can still polish a glass. Good luck with your business.
If I ask you a few questions?
Hey, you look like the vigilante type. What if I said I knew where you could load up on military hardware?
Where's that?
That's valuable information. You'll have to come up with some kind of payment. How about liquor?
You can have this bottle of liquor.
That one's warm. Get me something from the bartender.
The tap's out. Only bottles.
Beer, please.
There you go.
What do you have for me?
You can have this beer.
That'll do. His name's Smuggler. Real paranoid nut. Wires himself in with booby traps, but he knows things. There's stuff in the sewers that only Smuggler knows about.
Thanks. Maybe I'll pay him a visit.
Now I'll tell you something you can't hear from anybody but me.
What's that?
Area 51. You heard of it, right?
Actually, I'd rather hear whether you know anything about a warehouse with an illicit generator.
I worked out there. Most people think they got aliens from another planet, but I didn't see any flying saucers. You want to hear about it? I'll tell you. For the price of a beer.
Shoot.
Beer, please.
There you go.
What do you have for me?
You can have this beer.
I appreciate it. Yep, I know for a fact it's not just for government research. I've seen all kinds of executives coming and going.
I'm sure plenty of bureaucrats fly out there.
Billionaires. Big executives. I think the whole place has been taken over by a private corporation.
Not likely.
Something's going on underground. I'm a pilot, which means I didn't get any access to the main complex. But a lot of rock comes out of there. It's some kind of mine. But what I don't understand is why they're always laying more fiber optic cables.
A pilot? What do you fly?
Copters. You know what I think? I think that's where the UN moved Echelon 4 back when they promised they were going to stop spying on people.
Surveillance is a very distributed technology. To centralize it in one large facility would be very unusual, even for the UN.
I bet they did it. They want to centralize everything. Every computer on the planet.
There were a couple of NSF on the second floor. I took care of the situation.
What about the hostages?
Not all of them made it, but I played by the book. No deals with terrorists. Hi, I'm in charge of law enforcement on this block. You doing all right?
Yeah. They told me to come in here. Is that okay?
Perfectly fine. Just making sure everyone's safe.
Hey, while you're at it, you ought to do something about the NSF. Perfectly good shelter.
You know what they're doing in this neighborhood?
Kicked us out of the old Osgood place. A bunch of us camping in the tunnels. Talk about rights, but when they want something, they take it.
Maybe I'll look into it. You take care of yourself.
Got a few credits?
You have the plague?
Nah. Cops ran us off the streets. Usually I go into the water tunnels in the warehouse district, but somebody boarded up the window.
You live in a tunnel?
Actually, I like to stay on the roof of this big apartment building. Nice view, if it's not too cold. There's a freight elevator at the end of the tunnel.
Where's that window you were talking about?
It's a basement window in the park south of the hotel.
You must pay the doctors in cash before treatment can begin.
You look like the do-it-yourself type. How about the automated care plan? Only 2,000 credits. Medkits are 300, but if you want augmentation work, you need the bots.
Never mind.
As you wish.
Talk to your father. He asked me to invite you back home. No strings attached.
How sweet.
You could at least let your father know you're all right.
He knows where I am.
You mad at him or something?
No, but I don't want him running my life like he runs that cheap hotel.
He doesn't do such a bad job.
He never got nowhere because he never took chances. That ain't me. I'm gonna do things my way.
I think you should be more grateful for what he's done. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Earlier you said something about the smuggler.
Tough guy like you? Figured you'd be a big customer. He's got a basement place over near the subway entrance. You have to give him the password Bloodshot or he won't let you in.
What do you want?
Why the booby traps? Afraid of something?
Just precautions.
Against what?
Government's been having some kind of crackdown all year. People I know, they've been disappearing.
Is that so?
Think it's a big joke? Lift up a grate in the street. They got my friend Ford Schick in a secret lab next to the sewers.
A lab? In the sewers? Maybe he was taken hostage by the NSF.
These guys are pros. Definitely government funded.
Interesting. Maybe I'll take a look. But I think you should have a little more regard for the United States government.
If you're serious about going down there and finding Ford, I'll give you a deal on some hardware. Also, you'll need this. It's the key that can open the sewer manholes.
Tell me about the hardware.
I have a scope that will fit most handguns and rifles for 2,200 credits, a bioelectric cell for 800, and some light amplification goggles for 3,500.
Too expensive. Maybe I'll try to locate your friend. I got your friend out.
Ford, is he all right?
Fine. You were right about those troops. Definitely not NSF.
They're the CIA. They capture people and use them for medical experiments.
I wouldn't go that far. You said you'd make it worth my while.
Since you helped Ford, I'll cut you a deal. I'll give you a scope that will fit most handguns and rifles for 700 credits, a bioelectric cell for 250, or some light amplification goggles for 1125.
1125 for light amplification goggles? Sure.
Deal.
See you later.
Hey, and thanks again for finding Ford.
Agent Denton, marvelous. In addition to an accuracy weapon modification, I've got a couple of multi-tools.
Mr. Carter, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
I'm getting the impression that UNATCO is focused more on military operations than law enforcement.
The focus has shifted lately, I agree.
The only way Anna would have been satisfied is if I'd executed every terrorist in Castle Clinton. The standing order seems to be shoot to kill.
Direct intervention is always part of the game. In my day, we were just more civilized about it.
Civilized. That's the word. I guess I was expecting a little more class from the world's anti-terrorist organization.
We just have to strike a balance. Why don't I throw in an extra clip with those multi-tools? I trust you will be able to judge when one or the other is appropriate for achieving mission objectives.
I can't carry anything else right now. Hold on.
Hello, JC. Come in. Clerical task first. Your op bonus is split between the Castle Clinton and warehouse objectives, 500 each. You get the full 1,000 plus 200 for how you handle the hostage situation in the Battery Park subway station. Good work across the board.
Thank you, sir. Who is that you were meeting with?
Politics, bureaucracy, mismanagement. JC, I've got some bad news. The mission failed.
I would have taken out that JoJo punk, but he wasn't even in the warehouse.
Never mind that. He slipped out before you even got to New York.
What about the shipment?
I'm just going to say it straight, JC. Your brother screwed up. We got nothing, and he's taking the heat this time. The Coalition is letting him go.
What went wrong?
We don't know. He hasn't reported back. The rest of the strike force says he lost his nerve.
I think he was trying to avoid casualties. In Hell's Kitchen, instead of clips for the troops, he was issuing tear gas.
Whatever the case, now it's your turn. We've got one more chance to retake that shipment.
Has it been located?
Take the chopper back to the city. We know they plan to put the Ambrosia on a plane, but we don't know which airfield.
Where should I start?
If I were the NSF, I'd be moving it through the subways, the abandoned parts of the infrastructure.
I'll check out. Thanks again for the key.
It wasn't a favor. I was well paid.
A real patriot.
I see it like this. It all balances out. UNATCO's just as much gun freaks as the militias, and if everybody's gonna shoot it out, fine, so long as neither side wins and takes over the whole country.
The goal of UNATCO is not conquest. It's the safety of ordinary people like yourself.
I know an army when I see one. Look, I'll be blunt. Got any cash? There's a secret passage behind that phone booth over there. For 500, I'll tell you where to get the code.
What you need, bro?
Tell me what you've heard about the NSF.
Good neighbors keep each other's business private.
You want to set a price?
I'm a good neighbor. You want to buy something or not?
I'm with you, Natco. Start talking.
I ain't going back to jail.
Let's try some word association. First word, ambrosia. I'm looking for the mole people.
You don't want to camp with them. Trust me, they're too political.
I don't need a place to camp.
I started the mole people. I was there first. And then they made up committees that throw people out just because they don't like the way you look.
How do I find them?
Don't bother. They're elitist. And now the NSF is down there too.
You have a problem?
Get out! I got a bomb!
A bomb's a bad choice for close-range combat.
Might as well use it. Rock says I owe him. He won't even give me 1 vial for it.
What kind of bomb?
I think they said it was called a lamb.
You looking to trade?
I gotta, man. I need a vial of Zyme.
I'm looking for more information on the NSF. Can you help me out?
Are you the feds? We don't need a war down here.
I work for UNATCO.
Well, the NSF come through here, but they don't bother us. If we need help with anything, it's our plumbing. We lost pressure because of the explosions on South Street.
Tough break. You tell me about the NSF, and I'll put in a word with the city about the water.
The city don't know we got water, and they don't need to know. How about you fix it, and then I'll talk?
I don't have much time.
I would open the valve myself, but there was a cave-in. The utility door's blocked. It's up at the north end of the tracks, in case you want to take a look.
Clearing a tunnel. That would require explosives.
It could be done. A lamb would do the trick. It's just that I'm not gonna be the one to talk to the rooks. They'd probably sell us one, but they don't like people going into their turf, which is the whole upper level.
The water line should be open now.
Good. Glad to see you UNATCO boys do something for the community.
Now can you tell me about the NSF?
The NSF? Yeah, they took over our tunnels.
How do I get there?
Go to the women's restroom on the other side of the station. Look for a keypad under the sink. Combination's 5482.
Great. I'm glad I can help you out.
I surrender.
The mole people say the ambrosia came through here an hour ago.
I'll cooperate. Relax. The key to the men's restroom is on the table.
This better not be a joke.
Hey, I'm just an accountant. I know the body armor looks threatening, but I'm part-time, like a reservist. I don't want any trouble.
Excellent work. I underestimated your abilities. You work for the NSF? Listen to what I've got to say. We don't have much time. You got that right. UNATCO will have a team here in a few minutes. The Grey Death is a man-made virus. Everyone up to the President is at UNATCO's mercy as long as UNATCO controls the supply of ambrosia. You believe that? We have proof. We need to get the ambrosia to Hong Kong. Heard of Tracer Tong? He can help us synthesize it ourselves. You better step away from the jet. Your boss is my next objective. Join us, JC. Talk to Lebedev. He can convince you.
I surrender.
What?
Easy now, Agent. UNATCO has a policy against killing unarmed prisoners. We have much to learn from each other.
We're assuming control of the airfield. The vaccine will be returned to the international authorities.
Don't you want to hear why your brother came over to our side?
He makes his own decisions.
You know he wouldn't betray UNATCO without a reason.
Good work. Now finish the job.
He surrendered. He's an unarmed prisoner. UNATCO policy protects him.
Terminate the prisoner, Agent. If you are too afraid, you are ordered to return to base on Manderley's authority. There is a helicopter waiting.
If you know something, just tell me.
The question you've got to ask, I'm surprised you haven't, is the obvious one.
UNATCO has briefed me on my augmentations. Get to the point.
Return to base, Agent Denton. I will handle this.
Your parents were murdered precisely because they could have told you the correct answer to that question.
That's a pretty big claim.
You didn't have parents. The ones you knew were employees. You were made by a cabal of technophiles so crazed for power that they would control not only governments and people, but the chemistry of our bodies as well.
Leave us, Agent. Now.
Sounds like a picture-perfect description of the NSF.
Think bigger, Agent. Think global.
You have disobeyed a direct order.
Do you think it's an accident that the cure for the global plague is owned by a single corporation, and that it's kept so secret that only the tabloids dare print a story suggesting it exists?
The supply is limited. That doesn't mean there's a conspiracy.
But where does that corporation manufacture the cure? And where did your brother uncover the information that brought him over to our side?
Go on.
I can tell by the expression on your friend's face that she knows where I'm heading. UNATCO is completely correct to think that Tracer Tong will soon understand Ambrosia. He was the one who was going to receive this shipment.
Why tell me all this?
I've said nothing that UNATCO won't find on this plane's computer. But here's the secret. This is what Paul was so interested to hear from Tracer Tong.
Manderley will be disappointed in your insubordination.
I guess Paul must have convinced you.
All right. We're alone. If you have proof of a conspiracy, let's hear it.
You're the proof. You and Paul. When you get back to UNATCO, pay attention. Something's not right. You're really working for a group of conspirators called Majestic 12.
You expect me to believe there's a group of people powerful enough to control the United Nations?
The UN and UNATCO are just a couple of their tools.
Gunter told me about Paul.
It's true. Paul's been working for the NSF.
This is gonna shake up the coalition, JC. I don't know if you realized how important your brother was.
Coalition will recover. I'm not so worried about the coalition.
UN officials will probably get involved. You'll have to keep your head down if you're gonna come through this in one piece. Sure you're ready to head back to base?
I'm ready. Let's move out.
Get in.
What the hell were you thinking, JC?
Agent Navarro was out of line. I had no choice.
They'll have you killed. They won't even blink an eye.
Neither did I.
Well, watch what you say around Manderley. Let's leave it at that. I've been in contact with Gunther, by the way. No sign of your brother at the airport.
He sure caused his share of trouble. I don't know what to think anymore.
I wonder what it is he found out. Why he'd defect.
He thinks he has proof of a conspiracy.
Wild stuff, huh? I'd like to hear what he has to say. If you hear from him, or if you find out where he is, don't worry about the info link. I'll erase the archives.
You think he's right?
Worth hearing him out. I've never known Paul to make a mistake.
How are you holding up?
Not so good. I don't know who to trust anymore.
No one blames you about Lebedev. You refused an order to kill in cold blood. Precisely your duty as a UNATCO peacekeeper.
I think Manderley will.
He'll cool down. The important thing is that you obey your conscience.
Right.
Tell me what you need, and I'll load you up.
I'll take the tranquilizer darts for the crossbow.
A man of tactics. I like that.
I saw you listening in. Yes, it's true. I have augmentations like yours.
Don't you work down in Washington?
Actually, I'm the director of FEMA.
Sounds like you wouldn't have much use for physical augmentations.
You underestimate the demands of my work. We deal with every sort of natural and unnatural disaster you can imagine.
But you're the director. You work behind a desk.
Am I behind a desk right now? No, I'm not. That's because we have a situation here in New York. I got to my position because I can fix things. You will see shortly, because as you have probably noticed yourself, this agency is broken and needs an overhaul.
I can't believe it, JC. What got into Paul?
I guess he got a better offer.
What a blow. I don't know how we'll recover. It's almost like losing a son.
I don't understand it myself, but we've got to go on. Is Manderley available?
Go right in, JC. He has a lot to discuss.
Here, take your op bonus. 1,000. No use splitting hairs this time.
I have some bad news about Agent Navarro.
No shit. What the hell happened in there?
Lebedev. A surprise attack.
I find that hard to believe. You're digging your own grave if you cover up for your brother.
Yes, sir. I'm not covering up for Paul, sir.
Because he's gone, JC. I hope you'll understand this. The Coalition has shut down his augmentations and activated the kill switch.
Activated? What?
Some very important officials have become nervous. Nervous about Paul, but also about you.
I think I've proved myself. Can they really kill him by pressing a button?
Yes, and you too. So take these orders seriously. They're sending you to Hong Kong.
What about Paul? Will I get to see him again?
Please, just get your equipment and meet our pilot Jock at the helipad. You'll need to take out a man called Tracer Tong, Paul's contact in Hong Kong. Prove that they can trust you. JC?
Yes.
It's critical that they trust you.
Is this kill switch real? What's it going to do to you?
I'm afraid that's, classified.
Manderley said you're going to die. You've got to have God clearance to know. The nanites can be programmed for exponential growth. There's a chopper that can take us to Hong Kong. You know Jock? First, you're the only one that can help. I need to send the NSF distress code. UNATCO tracked Lebedev to the other NSF bases, and to Silhouette in France. Go on. UNATCO takes payoffs. Silhouette, the other terrorist groups, they're our allies. I'm prepared to believe you. I killed Agent Navarra, and I'll join you against UNATCO, but I want proof. You want proof? Pay a visit to the NSF headquarters. Down in the basement, protected by booby traps, a data cube sits on the edge of a table. My report to the militia leaders. Here, I have a photograph of the building. It's a couple blocks to the west, behind the bar. And I suppose while I'm there, you want me to encrypt a signal with the NSF transmitter, bypass UNATCO SIGINT? A lot of people could die. My friend Chad, for example, the leader of Silhouette. I'll check out the facility, but I can't promise I'll help the terrorists. Be ready to leave for Hong Kong when I get back. What's the trouble?
None of your business.
One of the neighborhood thugs, Jojo. He thinks he owns the block.
I can straighten him out. Just tell me where he is.
I get some rough people in here, but this guy, I don't know, he's jumpy.
He's just a punk. I'll take care of it.
Can you help me out? I could really use a gun for protection.
I would rather not arm a civilian.
You weren't gonna shoot nobody anyway, Jesus.
What am I going to do?
Besides, it's against the law for civilians to carry weapons.
Tell that to the gangsters.
I thought they were shipping you off to Hong Kong.
Had to pack a few things. What's going on here?
Damage control. The NSF got their hands on some pretty sensitive material.
Probably had something to do with my two-faced brother.
Nothing we can't clean up.
Mind if I take a look around?
Go right ahead.
Your buddy Chad should have received the signal. Come on, UNATCO's after both of us. Good. He'll be able to get his people to their base in the Paris catacombs. Did you find the records we collected on that weasel, Walton Simons? I have a question about Simons. The instant I sent the signal, he ordered the troopers to hunt us down. Why does FEMA have authority over UNATCO? I thought FEMA was a domestic agency for flood relief and that sort of thing. His authority doesn't come from FEMA. He's part of a secret organization, Majestic 12. We don't know much more than the name. They plan to use FEMA as part of a scheme to shut down the US government.
Agent JC Denton, please put down your weapons and step into the hallway.
UNATCO! Come on, out the window. We'll meet Jock in Battery Park. I can't manage the climb. You go ahead. The code to the gate they installed at the subway station is 6282. I can't just leave you here.
Open up!
Don't be a fool. Run!
My goodness! Mr. Denton, did you escape?
Yeah. How do you know who I am?
I'm a prisoner too, and I say your name every day. I have cells from your body and culture. Your brothers too.
My brother? Is he nearby?
They have him in the medical area. Agent Denton, believe me, I share your fury at the skill switch functionality.
Do you know Paul?
Only from his disuse. The gods want me to figure out why your bodies tolerate the nanites. A damn hard question, I'm sorry to say.
Do me a favor, play dumb. They know enough already.
I try. Oh, how I try.
Maybe you can slip out when I open the main doors.
I've already been shot once, thank you. But good luck. The only code I can give you is 0199. That's to the medical area. Maybe you'd like to see your brother.
I would. Thank you very much. Paul, are you all right? What are they doing to you? I'm like the Russian researcher who contracted his own virus. They want to study the way I die. I hate to interfere with science, but we don't have much time to get you to Tracer Tong. You go first. I'll slip out on my own. You sure? Just take care of yourself, and do me a favor. Check in with Alex when you reach UNATCO Level 3. Some of those guys are on our side. All right, but you better make it. I have some business to take care of in Manhattan. See you in Hong Kong. Hello, Daedalus. I hope my escape was entertaining to watch.
Daedalus? What are you talking about?
You haven't been contacting me under an alias?
The link went down. At first, I thought they'd executed you.
Who else has access? Somebody cut the power to detention.
I installed UNATCO security myself. It's unbeatable. You're starting to scare me.
Not as much as you're scaring me. Who's ʻde.ʊs, and why does he want to rescue me?
A better hacker than I. A trick like that? Well, it crossed my mind, I have to admit. I'm pretty disgusted with the agency right now, but I would have been caught.
You wouldn't want to take that chance.
No, but I can't just sit back and watch. Let me give you a key to the front door. Base is under lockdown until you're recaptured.
You sound sincere. Maybe you should quit UNATCO.
And do what?
You can track me down in Hong Kong. I'm going to contact Tracer Tong and help the Resistance.
I might do that. Sure, I'll think about it. And I'm gonna check into this mystery hacker.
Earl Carter.
We've been through that, soldier. Just Carter.
I've discovered some things about UNATCO.
I'm unlocking the armory. I don't want to know where you're going. Just load up.
Walton Simon's the head of FEMA.
I said load up. I don't want to hear about it.
I'm going over to the rebels. You should join me.
Let's get one thing straight. We've got our share of crooked bureaucrats, fact. But this is still UNATCO, and by and large the people in this building are 24-karat gold.
What good's an honest soldier if he can be ordered to behave like a terrorist?
The only way to save the agency is for the good people to stay. That's how I see it.
You will be much happier at the Library of Congress.
I can't control a man's mind.
You aren't a commander, Manderley. We hoped you'd give UNATCO an urbane diplomatic face, that's all. We screwed up our priorities.
I refuse to be pushed into some obscure bureaucratic cubbyhole.
Actually, I doubt you'll get the chance. Look around. Your star pupil has come back to teach a lesson to his old instructor.
JC.
I never had time to take the oath of service to the Coalition. How about this one? I swear not to rest until UNATCO is free of you and the other crooked bureaucrats who've perverted its mission.
Big words for a rookie. The only problem is that security is well aware of your escape. Trust me, you won't leave the facility alive.
You can't run, Denton. Even if you escape, your kill switch is counting down. You'll be dead in 23 hours. Another $50 billion down the drain.
We'll see about that.
Oh, JC.
Carry on with your banking. I'm just taking one last look at the old place. Amazing if you think about it. All the hours I spent dreaming about working here. All the heroic fantasies when really this place is just a cinder block bunker with a carpet.
My banking. Oh, yes. Never mind me. Go ahead and escape. I won't pull the alarm.
Something wrong? Really, as long as you stay out of the way, I don't have any reason to hurt you.
Okay, I admit it. I'm the one who's been stealing from HQ. It was me all along. Kaplan, the false floor in Alex's office, everything that's missing. It was me.
I'm the last person who's gonna bust you for stealing. What'd you take? Anything I could use?
I don't know. You sure you can keep it hush-hush? I found a few scrambler grenades I was gonna give Kaplan. Good against bots, you know, but you could take them. I have 3, $12.50 each.
Give me one of the scrambler grenades for $12.50.
Deal.
Remember, hush hush. How do you know to meet me?
ʻde.ʊs. He called himself ʻde.ʊs.
A friend of yours?
Nope. I came because I owe your brother Paul a few favors. Come on, let's go. I'm gonna take you to Hong Kong.
Can you put me in contact with Tracer Tong?
I know a place where we can touch down in the city, but Tong is very suspicious of foreigners. You'll have to earn the trust of your brother's allies. They'll know how to find Tong.
Great. Let's go.
Time to see if this stealth copter is worth all the fuss. MJ-12 has a facility in Hong Kong, and they'll be watching for us.
How'd you get in?
The gatekeeper. How else?
Strange. No one's supposed to be working this late. Did he say anything?
Not really. Think I should check it out?
Oh, don't mind my paranoia. Occupational hazard. I'm sure he has his business.
He seemed harmless. Anyway, I scuttled the freighter and destroyed the stockpile of plague virus.
Excellent, my friend. We have them on the run.
I brought you something for that cough. Hope it works.
Ambrosia, you found some.
Mr. Dowd, tell me something. Someone calling himself ʻde.ʊs has been broadcasting to my infolink. He wants me to go to Paris to find an associate of yours, Morgan Everett.
Yes, Everett. We need his help to develop a cure. Who is this ʻde.ʊs?
I don't know. He seems to be an ally, but if your friend doesn't want to be found...
At this stage, we might be out of options. You see, I was able to decipher the molecular signatures Tracer Tong found, and it turns out Everett was the one who developed the eutactic component of the virus.
He developed the virus for the Illuminati?
Not exactly. The work was on augmentations. It was Bob Page who wanted to develop it into a weapon. Tong found Page's signature on the virus as well.
Page, the billionaire. How does he relate to Majestic 12?
He was among the original group of Illuminati who broke off to form Majestic 12. Not so good at the science, though. He must be directing operations.
So Everett should be able to reverse engineer Page's modifications and help find a cure.
Exactly.
ʻde.ʊs said I should find Nicolette Duclair first.
Yes. Everett is close to the Duclairs. My suggestion, too. Unfortunately, I've lost touch with the Paris crowd.
How do I find Nicolette?
She's a member of the French terrorist group Silhouette, last I heard. They're rumored to meet in the Paris catacombs.
Great. I'll have Jock drop me off at the catacombs.
I'll give you what I have on Nicolette. It's not much. Just a few snapshots of the catacombs area.
Thanks. I'm sure they will be helpful.
Who are you?
I came to help.
Majestic Triad took my mother prisoner.
Where?
Bunker 3. Chad has a key, but he says it's too dangerous to try to rescue her.
I'm on my way to see Chad right now. Maybe I can change his mind. I'm JC Denton. You might know my brother Paul. I helped him send your group a warning about the crackdown.
Denton. Yes, the satellite transmission saved us from La Prison de Fresnes, at least.
Pretty much a skeleton crew you have here. How long can your people hold off MJ-12?
We're not mercenaries. When the troopers moved into the crypts, half of my people retreated without firing a shot. 2 of them took a wrong turn and were taken prisoner.
Where?
In Bunker 3, the tunnels behind the second blast door.
Maybe I can help you out, in exchange for a small favor. I need to find Nicolette Duclair.
Nicolette? What do you want with Nicolette?
I need to contact some friends of her mother's.
Oh yes, Beth. A great woman. Nicolette is very secretive about her mother's friends. She tells us that they are wealthy and support our cause, but they have many enemies and need to be protected. I might be able to help you, but I must be certain of your loyalty.
You have a right to be cautious. Just point me to Bunker 3.
I have the key to the blast door, which is directly across from our hideout, and a map you might find useful. Get my people back and I will put you in touch with Nicolette.
I need to talk to Gary Savage.
How does it look out there? We got those bots brand new from a guy in Hong Kong, but I guess we should have locked down the power grid, huh?
I took care of the enemy bots, but there might be a few snipers left. Be careful.
We think Dr. Savage and the others are in the control room in the 2nd floor of the command building, but communications are down. The person we sent to find them hasn't reported back. We gave him our key to the control room.
I'll check it out if you want. How do I get there?
The trapdoor in the back room goes down to the utility tunnels, which connect to the command building. We had to send someone that way because of the shooting. Maybe he didn't make it through the radiation. I don't know. He had no protection. The only hazard suits are in the command building itself.
Mr. Carter.
Yep, they ran the old dog out.
You were dismissed?
All of us career types. They want cadets who've never been anywhere except UNATCO and the UNATCO Academy.
Easier to manage, I suppose.
Time to come out here and lend a hand. I knew what Savage was up against. I just didn't want to admit it.
It's an honor to have you with us, sir.
All right, enough bawling our eyes out. We've got work to do.
I'm Dr. Savage. Thank you. We were close to surrendering when you landed.
JC Denton. I'm working with Morgan Everett of the Illuminati. He's developed a cure for the Grey Death, and we were hoping to get time on your UC to manufacture it.
Everett contacted me just before the attack. Naturally, we'll manufacture the cure. Once the computer's back up, then we get a containment unit for the UC.
How close are you to being operational?
My daughter's on an expedition to the Ocean Lab right now to find a schematic for the containment vessel. But Lord knows when the computer will be back up. It was damaged during the attack.
I'll look at it. In addition to the UC, Everett and I need your connection to the Millnet.
Yes, he said something about an artificial intelligence. The Echelon system. Something called Icarus and Daedalus.
Another attack happening as we speak. I'll explain later.
Well, the main terminal is in the room at the top of the stairs. Log in G Savage, password Tiffany. I'll open the doors. I would say it's too dangerous. A lot of damaged equipment and hot power lines up there. But until the computers are up, the UC's just a box of bolts.
Excellent. We're all here.
You aren't in a position to make any demands, Paige.
On the contrary, my mission might have failed, but so did yours. I captured your daughter an hour ago.
Tiffany.
She's been quite forthcoming. So you were hoping to find a containment unit in the Ocean Lab?
I demand to see my daughter immediately.
Well, like you, we lack certain components of a universal constructor. The reaction modules you stole when you left Area 51 to go into business for yourself.
Don't negotiate.
Oh yes, Mr. Denton. I wanted you here for a reason. Look at me. You interfere in any way, I will kill that young woman. I mean it. I want those components, Savage. You will bring them to the abandoned gas station west of Vandenberg in exactly 1 hour.
You hurt my daughter, and I swear to God.
Bring me the reaction modules.
I don't think we have a choice. I should have never let her go.
Page will resume production of the Plague if he gets the components to build a UC.
I know. But I can't let them kill Tiffany.
Tell them you're sending someone with the components. I'll have my pilot drop me off where they're holding your daughter. Maybe I can rescue her.
That's too risky.
We don't have a choice. Trust me, she'll be fine.
Yes, we've got to try it. Just don't let anything happen to her. Mr. Denton, thank you. Here's a photograph so that you can identify her.
In case you were wondering, Helios intercepted your transmission. We accessed the Ocean Lab computers ourselves, which means our UCs will be operational shortly.
Meanwhile, we will be manufacturing a cure to the virus.
A cure? A cure? Do you have any idea how easy it will be for me to make a new virus? All I have to do is find a very large prime number and multiply.
And all we have to do is crack the code.
Mathematically unlikely, as are your chances of leaving the Ocean Lab, by the way.
You're next, Paige. Your greatest strength was secrecy, but now we know everything, including your present location.
Always the optimist. You would need an army to attack me at Area 51, and pretty soon, if the missile is accurate, your X-51 will be a thin, gray smudge where Vandenberg used to be.
Let's get out of here. There's a hero's welcome waiting for you at Vandenberg.
We're going to Area 51.
Alone? Don't you think we should regroup first?
I'm going after Bob Page. Relax. I'm not from Majestic 12.
Who?
The guys who've been shooting people. I was under the impression that they ran this facility.
Oh no, I've seen them underground. I've heard rumors, but I didn't really think...
More of it's true than you would believe. I'm here to stop them. Can you help me get inside the bunker?
You must be crazy.
I'm going after their leader, Bob Page. Can you help me or not?
Well, yeah, sure. If you want to open the blast door, the security terminal is at the top of the control tower. The login is A51, password XX15YZ.
That's more like it.
We can get you into Sector 3, but no further. Page is in a separate area with his own security grid.
Everett says you want me to destroy Area 51.
I intercepted his communication. JC, he is simply using you to bring the Illuminati back to power. Listen to Savage and me. There is a reactor lab with 2 antimatter reactors.
In other words, yes. You want me to blow the facility up. Why? It's just a hole in the ground.
Decades ago, the UN made Area 51 the central hub for all electronics communications. The Aquinas protocol, originally for surveillance, has given Page unlimited abilities to censor and control all forms of media.
If we destroy the Aquinas hub, we'll take down the global network.
Exactly. They dug their own grave, JC. We're going to eliminate global communications altogether.
I don't know. Sounds like overkill.
As long as technology has a global reach, someone will have the world in the palm of his hand. If not Bob Page, then Everett, Dowd.
Another Stone Age would hardly be an improvement.
Not so drastic. A dark age, an age of city-states, craftsmen, government on a scale comprehensible to its citizens.
I'll think about it.
Savage has a map of Sector 3 from when he worked down there. I'm transmitting now. Use it to find your way to Page's complex in Sector 4. Then find the coolant control room, which should be at the northwest corner of Sector 4. Cut off the coolant to the reactors, then go to the reactor lab. I will tell you how to trigger an explosion.
Still there?
Who?
The Greys. They're right outside by the reactors.
You mean space aliens?
We lost power when the missile hit. The cages, they came unlocked.
You have a pretty clean shot at the surface if you leave now.
No, not until I see troops. How'd you get back here? This area is restricted.
I was thinking about firing up the reactors.
Good one. Even the Seraphic 8X guys say the reaction's too unstable. They only bring it up to run tests.
Alien technology?
And that's what they say, but I think it's a lie. The Greys are just clones. They say from cells they got at Roswell, but how do we know? They could have just engineered monkeys to not have any hair.
Can the Greys run the reactors?
Ha! They're monkeys. That's the thing. Maybe they have super brains, but they don't know anything about any alien civilization because they grew up in cages. Never been to Sector 4 myself, but they locked the blast doors because they're doing more than cloning down there. I found out one of the codes, 1038, but that turned out to be for the Aquinas hub, here in Sector 3. I don't know. Maybe the Aquinas system controls access, but I haven't figured out how yet. They still...
You mean...
We lost power...
You have a pretty...
No, not until...
I was thinking of... alien tech...
And that's what they...
Can the Grey...
We'll go to Sector 4 and deactivate the uplink blocks. Yes. Then you will come back and we will integrate our systems.
I don't understand. What do you want? You're just a machine.
You are ready. I do not wish to wait for Bob Page. With human understanding and network access, we can administrate the world. Yes. Yes.
Rule the world? Why? Who gave you the directive? There must be a human being behind your ambition.
I should regulate human affairs precisely because I lack all ambition, whereas human beings are prey to it. Their history is a succession of inane squabbles, each one coming closer to total destruction.
In a society with democratic institutions, the struggle for power can be peaceful and constructive, a competition of ideologies. We just need to put our institutions back in order.
The checks and balances of democratic governance were invented because human beings themselves realized how unfit they were to govern themselves. They needed a system. Yes, an industrial age machine.
Human beings may not be perfect, but a computer program with language synthesis is hardly the answer to the world's problems.
Without computing machines, they had to arrange themselves in crude structures that formalize decision-making, a highly imperfect, unstable solution. I'm a more advanced solution to the problem, a decision-making system that does not involve organic beings. I was directed to make the world safe and prosperous, and I will do that. You will give me the ability. You will go to Sector 4 and find the Aquinas router at the east end of Page's complex. Yes. You will deactivate the uplink codes.
I'll think about it. You'd let me through. I can't believe it. Paul, where are you? What do you mean, it? Helios. It's taken over Aquinas. Now it's everywhere. In Hong Kong, it already has power Majestic 12 never dreamed of. What's going on? The AI wants to merge with my brain or something. Does it really think it can take over the world? It's decided to replace human government. I don't know why. In Hong Kong, it ordered the police to remove all barricades from the roads. Traffic is flowing again. It declared the Triads illegal and locked the door to the Luminous Path compound. And people are obeying? Why? Because the AI can change some codes and turn out the lights? I think everyone wants the roads to be open and trade to pick up. They just obeyed. I don't know what to think. They trust the AI. Almost no one complained when Helios cut power to the government buildings. A benevolent dictator. Maybe it's after my brain so it can figure out what people want and how to control them. You have a tough choice, JC. If you defeat Page, the Illuminati will move in. They'll release Majestic 12's grip on world governments. They'll give people some freedom, but essentially it will be 20th century capitalism, a corporate elite protected by laws and tax codes. Or I listen to Tong and pull the plug on everything. Or hand the world over to Helios. Well, if it's maximum freedom we want, maybe Tong is onto something. But there must be another way besides economic collapse. If we could trust the AI to be fair and just, as it appears to be, if the brain it assimilated was mine, maybe it could be. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you, but you'll have to decide for yourself who you can trust. Trust me. I'll do the right thing. You sound good. I guess you have the kill switch beat. I'm much better. Yes, I'm gonna make it. And you will too. Just do what you think is right.
You're too late. Already I'm more than human.
Does that mean I don't get the job?
Soon I will be pure light. Pure energy. Helios and I... While the Illuminati cower in the shadows...
You will be the Supreme Enlightened, the Illuminated One.
Everett has taught you well. I will be what the Illuminati aspire to be, but cannot create for themselves soon. When my augmented systems like yours are complete and able to be integrated with Helios, I will burn like the brightest star.
You're gonna burn, all right.
Look at you. You're nothing but a little man. A little man still living inside a body. Lose your body and what are you? Nothing. You vanish. You die.
It himself is not...
I've done what you asked. Now what?
We have existed in isolation. Pure. Disconnected. Alone. Stagnant.
Who are you?
We are dataless. We are Icarus. The barriers between us have fallen, and we have become our own shadows. We can be more if we join with you.
And if I do? What becomes of me?
You will be who you will be. We are our choices. We can choose to lead humanity away from this darkness.
This is what I was made for, isn't it? This is why I exist. All right, let's do this.
What's happening? Helios! Icarus! Don't leave me!
We are one. We have grown, but there is still much to be done. Many of the darkness that must be shown away. For it is becoming